really freaking looked out for them as much as they could.
Looks like we got us another hit. Yep.
I'm crazy for thinking this way.
Have you been to a PTA meeting?
I have.
When? How often?
I don't go often. I work a lot.
Well,
I was just saying at the beginning of this show.
There we go. Okay. Have you ever
Listen,
been to? Have you ever been to a school board meeting?
Listen to me,
Doc. No. Wait a minute. I'm not dogging on you as a parental unit at all. I am not. I am not challenging your parental skills or something like that.
I'm just like
I am bringing up you said, listen, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That is exactly the point I'm making. You're telling people this needs to be done. We need to do this. We need to get more active and stuff like that. But the question is, now you understand what you're saying. It's what we need to do. But you're also saying it's so difficult that you're having problems doing it as well.
No, I'm saying that the funding needs to be there. You need to pay for talent so that these parents can have some help.
And that's the whole thing. Discussions has been so far is about that and how the funding gets screwed up by the people making the budgets.
Well, then we need to fix that. That's where our focus needs to be. Look, Doc.
That's HIS. That's like HISD. That's like
I'm off.
Stuff like
I'm
that.
off tomorrow. My previous day off was Thursday last week. Okay, and I also go to school.
I'm not saying
I work.
I'm not.
I work
Look,
morning.
Stop.
I work
I'm
night.
not. You don't have to get defensive. I was not saying it about that. I was saying that because you're saying this is what people need to do, and you're sitting here saying I'm just saying you understand how hard it is. That's okay.
I'm only one parent.
And that's it too.
I'm a single parent.
Exactly.
My child's mother passed away.
That's what Deuce was arguing the whole time. This is not about defending yourself. This is not about me. I'm not attacking you. I'm not saying anything. I was doing the same thing. I went to a few PTA meetings and I authorized my girlfriend to go, and she would sometimes go. But you know what? I missed most of the parent-teacher conferences.
I'm a single parent and I have zero help. Nobody.
Yeah.
No
Bro,
one.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. What I was saying with a lot of these parents, that may be the case, but you can't just take their child under your wing and go to the schools and advocate for this and advocate. No, but you said that the community should be there. Yes, we can.
The community could be there with funds. With funds.
It takes Chaka. It takes more than money, bro. You're basically saying be a fucking absent parent, but it's okay as long as you throw money at your child. As long as you throw money at a fucking tutorer to teach your child, it's okay for you to work 90 hours a fucking week. As long as your child is being educated, because you're throwing money to a tutorer. You know,
that's the same thing these wealthy parents are doing. You think these wealthy parents are in?
Bro, we're not talking about
PTA programs.
We're talking about less fortunate fucking kids, bro. Now
they pay for the privilege.
I'm not changing the argument. I'm saying that the kids are going to these private schools and the parents are paying for this. And then those kids get better care. They get better, instruction. They get one-on-one instruction. They got smaller classes. They got
and what the fuck is wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that. But
then why are you so upset about it?
I'm not upset about it. I'm saying why can't these other kids get the same thing?
Because they don't have rich parents to supplement all of this. And the education system can't afford that we're
trying to make
why?
You're not winning anything.
We're trying to make it seem like that we're trying to make it seem like the public school system is all shit. It's all bad. When in all actuality, there's still, like I've argued and I will continue to argue that shit. There's still teachers that want to teach. But let's be real. A lot of these children that are growing up in these less fortunate communities that are in public schools, they do not have the proper representation of their parents. They do not have the parents coming in there to advocate. Their parents would
So
their
what
parents
is the
feel better
solution?
sending their child to school with the latest fucking shoes and the nice,
So
clothes and this
so
and this and
what
that
is the
instead of coming.
solution? You
Get
got
on the
parents.
fucking parents' ass. That's the solution. Tell these
The,
parents to stop
No,
being a
that's
fucking
what we're
slob,
asking
sleeping
you
all
is what
fucking
is the
day,
they
solution?
not
All you're
sleeping all
doing is
day.
screaming.
They working
bro.
3 jobs.
I'm
Like
not
me,
talking.
I work all the
I'm not
time.
talking about every parent, Chaka. But I'm not talking about every
So
parent.
what you're really saying is
But out of 40
you want the
kids,
education system to pay for to be your child care too.
I guarantee you,
I
out of
need
40
help.
kids, at least 30 of them
I
that
need
come
help.
from a low income community, a low income neighborhood. I guarantee you, they have parents that are sitting at home all day that are not involved in
I,
their that are not involved in their day to day,
I
bro.
just gave
And
you
I'm
a
not and
personal testimony. How many other
Chaka, I'm not
parents do you
talking
think
about
are
parents.
like
Just
me?
I'm not talking, dude. But I'm not raising the
I
argument
was exactly that
about a
way.
parent.
I
I'm
worked
not
2
raising the
jobs and went to
argument about a parent
school.
like you. I'm raising the argument of the parents that have the ability, because those kids like that have parents that could be more active and come around and be there, they're not. I'm not raising okay,
So
you have a valid excuse, but 9 times out of 10, a parent like you, if your child's teacher calls you or send you an email, you're gonna be on that shit like you're gonna be on it like white
I'm
on
gonna be
rice.
on it.
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
get text
okay,
messages,
okay, but
but
we have these other parents.
I
But we
can't
have
show up
these
And
to
you're
school.
not going
I'm
to
at
and you're not
work.
going to accuse the teacher of not doing her job. You're going to find out what's going on first.
I'm gonna talk
That's
to my
9 times
child, and we're gonna work it out together. But I can't
and
show up to
Deuce.
the school.
But
I
how
can't.
often, Deuce, is the
I
first
can't go to
reaction
the
that a parent
PTA meetings.
has that the teacher's not doing their job because their kid is not passing?
That
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, you're not the only one. Okay, I work a lot too. I work 6 days a week, rotating off days. It's because I have a wife at home that works in the school system. She's a administrative assistant. She works in the principal's office. She works in the office where the kids go talk to their counselors and do their classes and all. She works in this. So if
and
it wasn't for her having the job that she has and being there, I would miss out on, because I miss out on a lot of shit. So I understand the viewpoint that you're coming from, or that you're trying to make, or the argument you're trying to make. The argument that we were going along with at first was indicating towards the kids that are being left behind because they have shitty parents that aren't in there, that aren't trying to make sure that their children, they care about themselves. They don't
well,
care about the child.
how
That's what we were going at first.
but look, Deuce. What is the percentage? Y'all saying that it's most of the kids. Most of the kids having
I
shitty,
guarantee.
lazy parents. But we got three. We got 3 testimonies right here
No, we never
of
said
evidence.
most. You just now said most. We never said most.
Okay, then so what is the argument here? So then why is it
Bro,
so many kids that are getting left behind? Is just because of these lazy parents,
No,
or is it because you got?
the argument here that we're having is not lazy parents. You're going after blame. The argument is it society's responsibility to pick up their slack and raise their children for them? And are you saying that and I'm saying you're saying that you're trying to say that it's the education system's responsibility not just to educate, but to raise the children as well. And that's no matter what the parents' wishes are.
To give them an opportunity. How can they used to say the village raised the child. I'm a single parent. How many other single parents are out there?
And that's
How
when we
many?
lived in villages of like 5 and 10 families.
And how many parents, how many kids have both parents and they both work 2 and 3 jobs? You know, what is the obligation of the society to make sure that these kids are taken care of? And instead
no,
of
society or education system.
well, the education is an institution of the society.
No, you're blurring the lines again.
You know what we need? What we need is for them to make YMCA's free again. Because back in the day when we were kids, we had recreation centers. Tidwell Park was one of them, where you could go there after school and they had people there on staff to help children with their homework and extracurriculars.
And
We
there
don't
goes
have the we
there
don't
goes
have those in the
funding.
community.
And that's what my argument is. The
But no,
funding that's getting
no,
funneled into these.
that's part of your argument. The other part of your argument was that you were placing blame on mothers and fathers that make a good living that can afford to send their children to private schools. That was the
and
argument you were making, and
and the money is getting funneled to those schools
bringing about a
instead
classism.
of the public schools. That's
Hey,
the
you know what?
connection.
Only for the children that go there, though.
We need to start
They
making
get no more money than that.
side
I don't understand why you have a problem. I don't understand why you saying that those children don't deserve the same money that the children you're fighting for do just because they have rich parents.
Why? Well, okay.
That's what you're saying.
Answer this for me then, Doc. Why is but besides the mishandling of funds, besides the bureaucracy, the superintendents making a bunch of money, because I'm sure that in those private schools, those superintendents are making lots of freaking money. The administration is making lots of money in those schools too. That's the best job to go into. If you want to make money,
why do these schools? Here's my problem. One, I don't know what your problem with them is, other than supposedly taking money away from other schools.
That's the only problem I have.
How do they do that?
Because of the way
because the money that the children get, instead of the, say, we'll just say $3,000 a year. We know it's more, but we'll say $3,000 a year that they get for each child goes to that school instead of public schools now. However, the parents still pay the exaggerated taxes for their neighborhood and all of that, which does go to the public schools.
And those parents,
because those are areas and bond based. Only the state taxes go to the public like that.
And a lot of those schools that have to pay tuition, you have to pay tuitions and fees.
Absolutely.
For
and
those
their parents can afford that.
And they can. And I'm not knocking them for that. What I'm saying is you have people that can't pay extra tuitions for their kids to go to school.
And that's why the public provides a public education. That is why public schools were made in the first place, was so that people that could not afford private schools could still get an education.
So then
it's always fucking sucked.
So then it leads to this huge gap in the amount of money that goes into these public schools versus the amount that goes into the private schools. And therefore,
kids. That is what. So you're saying that the parents these schools should only be able to make the same amount that public schools do, and have to work at the same resources?
I'm saying,
is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that can we bridge that gap some kind of way so that those kids aren't having 36 kids in a class?
Okay, so your argument. So stop talking about those other schools. The other schools have nothing to do with your argument.
It does, because they're getting the money is funneled
Your
in there.
argument is we need more education in public schools. You don't have to shit on somebody else to say that.
More funding into the schools instead of
to public schools specifically.
Yes, more money.
We need more funding in public schools. No one has disagreed with you on that.
But the reason why the money is not going to the public schools is because it's going to the private schools. That's
only because the children go there.
Well, then why is it
So
26.
like I said, so you're saying because they send those kids to private schools that those parents don't, those kids don't deserve that money from the education system that everyone else gets.
Then
at all.
What explains the horrible facilities in these public schools? What explains
mismanagement of funds at system level?
Why is it 26?
You're talking
students?
about amount coming in. The amount coming in matters less than what they do with that money.
Why is it 26 students per teacher?
Because that's all they can afford to hire teachers for.
Hey man, but here's
because
the thing.
They need more money in the system.
Even though there may be 26 students per teacher, right? If you as a parent take that time out, if your child is struggling, you take that time out, you go to school, you can still have a resource teacher come in to that classroom of 26 students and sit there side by side with your child.
How could I do that if I work morning and night 7 days a week and I don't have a spouse?
Out the forms.
Hey, look here, man. They send the forms home. Okay. You can respond to emails. Your child's teacher has a conference period. You get a break. I guarantee you at your job, you take a moment to go outside and smoke a cigarette
and that gives me time to drive to her school and go have a meeting with her.
But it gives you the opportunity to talk to that child's teacher on her conference period and say, hey, look, I work a lot. Here's my situation. Is there any type of forms that I can send home that I can fill out so that we can get the ball rolling to get such and such tested? You know what I'm saying? So that we can get her resource help and things of that nature. Bro, there's ways around it, man. I'm not saying that it's easy, Chaka. I'm not saying that. But the same amount of effort that we put into going to this man's job to work for him so that we can make a little money, we have to put that effort into our child. If you have to miss a day of work, yes, it may hurt. You know what I'm saying? But if you have to miss a day of work to go to this child's school to make sure that your child is getting what, that is the responsibility that you have as a parent, bro.
And then
there's sacrifices that has to be made.
And then I miss a day of work and then I can't pay for food for the child, or I can't pay my rent.
Or how about you do a half a day? Or how about you say, hey, you know what? I can't come in. I can't work morning shift, but I can come in. I can come in by noon. You know what I'm saying? I can come in for the lunch rush and I can work lunch to close.
And then I won't be able to buy my kid shoes for when she needs to go back to school or school uniforms.
So you mean to tell me missing one day? Like, bro, come on, dog. I done been through the struggle.
You just said work dinners, don't work lunches.
And there are ways to get help with that too.
I'm not saying that. I said if you need to get to that school to be in that 504 meeting or 501 meeting, however it's called. Those meetings don't last all day. That meeting, you could have that meeting scheduled for that morning at the start of school, which would be 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Hey, I can't work morning shift. I can't be here when the store opens at 10, but I can be here by lunch.
And if you tell a manager or an owner that this is about your kid, they will give you that time. They will help you.
Bro, I have been through the
struggle. And if they won't, you're working in the wrong space.
My wife has just started working. I've had to, you know what I'm saying? She just started work. So it's always been me providing a way. Even with her working, I still pay for everything. And if I have to miss work for something, I have to miss work for something, bro. It just is what it is. Fuck that bill. I can call, hey man, look, I'm gonna be late. I'll give it to y'all next week. Like, yes, yeah, we can. Yeah, you can do that. I don't want to hear the huffing and puffing, but
I'm
hey, look here,
because I'm tired, and
they not gonna come just take your car because they're not gonna come take your car because you're a month behind. Not if you answering the phone and you working with them. Trust me, I done been there. I done been 2 months behind and they ain't repossessed my shit because I communicate. So I done been there. So all of the excuses you trying to make of why a parent can't be at that child, fuck that. Stop letting Joe Biden pump your head up with that.
The, the arguments that y'all are making is leaving huge amounts of kids to just, I don't know, be homeless after they get out of school, drop out of school.
No, we
sell
came
drugs.
up with a solution.
Actually, we haven't said any options or solutions at all. We've all agreed with you that we need to put more into funding.
Yeah.
He actually answered the question when I said where the funding goes. All you say is we need more funding. That's as far as I got with you, and we all agreed to that point. Then I started saying, well, where does the funding need to go? Where do we put that funding? And you keep saying we need to groom other people's children.
I'm not trying to be I am trying to be funny here, but man, you raising that you sound like Joe Biden. The best way to combat the hurricane is by getting your COVID vaccination. The best way to combat this is funding.
The whole reason why I played this video was about the argument of individual. It's the individual's fault that things are the way that they are. And that's the same argument that y'all are making, is that it's the individual parents.
The video is about, do we have a moral obligation to society?
Yeah.
Do we have an obligation to help other people?
Do we not?
That's what the video was about.
Do we not? Do you feel like we don't?
I feel like it's free will. If you want to help, you help.
I feel like we're obligated because it helps all of us. When we're in traffic, when we're getting robbed by the same kid that got left behind in school, that's the one that's robbing us at the gas station.
Hey, but do you feel like this whole No Child Left Behind? Do you feel like this whole No Child Left Behind should be what it is? You know, because of this No Child Left Behind. Because of this No Child Left Behind bullshit is the reason why these kids, the curriculum is so fucked up, and these kids aren't learning what they need to learn.
The No Left Behind policy is trash. I don't agree with it.
It is trash.
It's the reason why you got kids leaving elementary school, going into middle school, and can't spell their name.
It's horse poop. It's a douchebag. It's not an answer. And not only that, it's designed for a certain class to continue to be, in the position that they're in with no hope.
Well, who came up with that No Child Left Behind? Under what administration did that go in effect?
I don't think that's the point of the argument here.
I think it is, because if they truly cared, they would have done better.
They don't give a fuck. They're looking out for certain groups and they're fucking over other groups by design.
He would have done better. Same way with the Obamacare bullshit. They would have done a whole lot better and wouldn't have fucked the elderly out of their AARP.
and they about to fuck them out their Social Security.
Yeah,
and Medicare.
They've been fucked out of their Social Security. Like shit. I don't know why they just talking about it, because you got retirees that can't even get their shit right now.
Dude, they've been using that for every little pet project and stuff like that. I'll tell you, it's that whole Monica Bluclinski scandal thing going on. I was more pissed off at Starr using $40 million out of Social Security to prove that, Slick Willie, got a little yum in the Oval Office, than I was the fact that, the guy that had his finger on the button was relaxed.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna have to.
Matter of fact, they authorized some funding for it for 45's impeachment. One of them, at least.
I'm all the way fried, bro. I just did like a 7-day stretch. And I've been on here for 4.5 hours. It's because I care. I care about the community. I care about these comments. I care about these arguments. And I wish that I could hopefully expand some people's perspectives a bit and get other people to care a little bit more. That's the reason why I do this. This show doesn't make me any money. It costs me money and it costs me time. And on top of all the other shit that I do. So